Good afternoon and welcome to another AB Neo flight video. Today we are in Chicago O'Hare International Airport, flying over to Boston Logan on the east coast of the USA. I've decided to do a bit of a retro flight. So we're in the A310-300 and I've chosen the JetBlue retro livery for today's flight. Now JetBlue don't and never have flown the A310. They're not quite an old enough airline to have ever had this in their fleet. Plus, it just wouldn't really suit their fleet needs. But I've got the livery, so figured why not jazz it up and put the retro livery into the video for the first time. Now, it has been a little while since I have flown the A310. Have done a couple of practice flights, of course. That would make sense, but we'll be following the standard operating procedure guide, which I do have on the screen just to my right. You won't be able to see it. I won't bring it up onto the video today, but if you do want to learn how to fly this not bad advanced level aircraft in the sim, I mean, it's free for everyone who has Microsoft Flight Simulator, so jump in, have a go. There are some amazing YouTube videos you can find. Just type in A310-300 MSFS instructional or tutorial, and you'll be underway. It's pretty simple, a little bit more complex than the A320 or A321 series, especially the fact that it's an advanced level aircraft. It's not just entertainment level, but I think you will enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy the video. All right, so here we are in the flight deck of the A310. Now this is an Airbus, but you would be forgiven for thinking this has a bit more of a Boeing-esque feel to it. So the A310 is part of the A300 series, which was the original aircraft for Airbus, or the OG. And this is what started it all. So the A310 is the shortened version of the A300. This series used Yokes for their control. It wasn't until the A320 came along that we did see the side stick, and also with the invent of the fly-by-wire system. So this doesn't have fly-by-wire. It is hydraulic and pulley controlled mostly. But we do have some modern systems. So we've got the glass, or a semi-glass cockpit with these CRT displays, but also some steam gauges still in existence for this one. So it's a 40-year-old aircraft, first launched in 1980, so a couple of years of test flying, and then 1982 it saw commercial service. And so first and last series to have the Yokes, and which suits me because, of course, as you know, I do currently fly with the Yoke until I do get my Airbus Captain's Pack in the next week or two. So I've already aligned the IRSs, that's already been done, and all I need to do now is get this set up. So the flight plan has already been imported as well. So I'm going to, obviously if I look off to this way here, it's because my screen is in that orientation, my second screen, and that's what I'll be looking at. So let's get some things set up. So our flight ID is JetBlue, so where is JB? U553, always flying with the 553 flight number. Just clear that company uplink. Cost index, I think I'm using cost index 70 for this flight, so we'll chuck that in as well. And our cruise level is flight level 350. So we're going to hit align IRS, and that will align those instantly. It wouldn't usually do that in real life, but it is in this one. Okay, so I need to go to the EFB. So hit the scale icon. So what have we got on the load sheet? 227 is our pack, so almost full. Come on, this is really touchy, this slider. There we go. Cargo is going to be 5.7. And fuel 13.6, 13.6 tons. Let's see if, oh, we got straight to it. Excellent. So we're going to hit apply. Click on live because that is now going to be live in the system. So into the block fuel, which is 13.6. And there, 13.6. I'm going to go back and forward from this EFB to the MCDU quite a lot. Oh, why is that? There we go. Block fuel, zero fuel weight, which is 104. Call that 104. 104.0. And our zero fuel weight CG is down here, 25.8. Cool. Now, trim should be 1.0, which it is not on at all. It's on 0, but I can't figure out how to move this. It used to be able to, but even with trim wheels not working on it, so it's probably something I need to program, but I'm just going to leave it. 0 is fine for this flight. It's not going to be a big problem at all. So back to CTU here, click on flight plan. I'm just going to go through and check if there's any discos or vectors. There shouldn't be because I haven't entered here, there's none. But there might be after we enter our SIDs and stars. So our SID is going to be departing from runway 09 center. 09 center, please be on the list. 09 right. Oh, right at the bottom. Okay, cool. And it will be on, oh, it's direct. So we'll just go insert and then down to our arrival at Boston, and our star will be arriving on 04 right. Oh, it's up the top. ILS 04 right. And that'll be on JFUN 2 and on the Ponct transition. We'll insert that. Okay, now I'm going to check for any discos or vectors. I'm also going to check our top of climb. There's a vector right there, so we're going to clear that and that disco as well. If it will let us. It will, excellent. Okay, cool. There's, I can't see top of, sorry, not top of climb, top of descent anywhere on here. Oh, it's right there. So I'm just going to double check that. It's top of descent 350. Okay, so there is something wrong with the VNAV on this. So you can see here 2107, so that's Zulu, top descent, flight level 350. 2107, so same time Zulu, we need to be at flight level 240. So I'm going to manually descend this. I'm not going to use the VNAV in this aircraft because there's something messed up with it at the moment and no sign of any fix at all. But that is fine. We can't expect a PMDG level of accuracy in this one. This aircraft comes to us from IniBuilds, and it was good at the start, but then they did some updates. The sound is nowhere near as good as it was when it first came out, and now VNAV is also broken, but that is fine. We'll deal with it as we go. So anyway, back to the EFB. I need to click on the takeoff icon, and I need some information from some pages which I have not actually loaded up. So I will do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the information that I need to load up, and I'll come back to you. Okay, now that I've organised myself properly, like I should have before, we've got the information. So runway length in meters is 3427. It's probably going to give me some random, 3420, that's close, but we'll go as per the actual airport chart. 3427 is dry surface, it's not raining at all. Runway heading for 09 center is 90. Okay, cool. So, oh, it has it right there. We can actually just click the quick ones there. Wind, I'm going to leave as is. It is variable, so whatever that there is, we'll just leave it as is. Outside air temperature is, it's not 22 degrees, it is 26 degrees. Oops, I need to click on it. Actually, I wonder if I can put in a decimal, 26.1. Oh, I can, look, oh no, I can't. Okay, cool. So it's 26 degrees centigrade, you'll see there. QNH, it is showing hectopascals here because I have this in metric. I'll leave that as is. I use inches, or INHG, as opposed to hectopascals, because I just prefer it. Our weight, I do need to go back to here to get that, so it should be, where are you, in it, next page, and our takeoff gross weight is 117.2, so we'll chuck that in there, 117.2, flaps will be 15 for 15, anti-ice off, air conditioning on, calculate. said calculate. Why aren't you calculating? What have I missed? Oh, because the wind. Right. Well, it's let's just go at 90. Let's go 090 for 0. It's variable, but I'm going to go 090 for 0, and then calculate. Okay, excellent. Now I'll show you exactly why I did 090 for 0, because as you can see, we've got a variable wind, so there's no direction really. This was 55 minutes ago, so I'll do a refresh and see if it has changed. No, there's no change. So that's why I've just put that in. It doesn't really matter that it's not accurate. It's fine. I don't know what they do put in if it's a variable wind when they are calculating this, but that's what I tend to do. So V1 and VR is 135 and 136, so we can put that into our takeoff. So 135 for V1, 136 for VR, and our V2 speed is 161. But before we put that in, I do need to turn on our yaw dampers and also our engine trim, and that will activate this here. So speed is 161. Our altitude is 350. Heading will be 090. Excellent. Turn on constraints. Nav is on. Flight directors are on. All looking good so far. QNH is 29095. That's in. I have missed something, so we need our flex temperatures 57. So down here, flex takeoff, it'll be 57 to there. Okay, we'll just check. That is all good. Systems seem to be working. Oh, those throttles were sitting up a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so I need to turn on profile, nav. Constraints on over there as well. Won't use terrain, don't really need terrain for this flight. Nav lights should have actually already been on also. Won't turn the beacon on yet. No smoking should be on. And we'll just check up here that shed should be on as well. Otherwise the staff in the back will be getting a bit shitty that I have not turned that on. Now if I missed anything up here, it all looks good so far. Alrighty, so we are ready to push back and start. Everything is all loaded. I think, I'm pretty sure I haven't missed anything. I feel like I have, but no, I think it's all looking good. So we are ready to push back and start. So I'm just going to wait for the last of the passengers to load, even though they're not really there. And also, Southwest for some reason is providing the snacks. That's a bit controversial. You'd think it'd be at least Spirit, maybe, but we've got a Southwest truck just sitting there. This scenery, by the way, comes with the flight sim. I'm not sure if it's because I've got the Premium Deluxe that I got Chicago, or if it comes the standard. I can't really remember. The airport that we're flying to, Boston Logan, is a paid add-on that you can find in the marketplace. It was reasonably cheap. I think it was about $15. It's not bad. The FPS doesn't drop too much. But anyway, I'll leave this for another 5 or 10 minutes. You won't have to wait that long. I will jump cut the video, but I will be right back and we'll get this flight underway. Okay, I've just done some additional checks to see if I've missed anything. I think everything seems to be okay. So let's get the APU fired up and get this bird in the air. We need to turn on all the fuel pumps first. This takes ages to get it kicked off. Get the APU master switch on and we'll start the APU. While we're doing that, we'll get the seatbelt signs on, I should say. And we will, I actually do need that back on. And we will close the door. Actually, if I just hit jetway, I think it closes the door at the same time. Yeah, it does. Okay. Cool, so the jetway should be going. There it goes. And we also need to turn on our beacon light as well. You can see down here the APU is starting to fire up. Eventually, it takes ages to fire up. While we're doing that though, I will enter our approach information now, so just the ILS information. So if I bring up the chart, we have got our localizer 110.3 and CRS is 35 degrees. So usually you do this before you, so you're in flight and before you begin your approach, but I like to do it a little bit early. We can obviously change this if we need to, if the winds do change. So 110.30 and CRS is 035. Okay, so ILS information is in. We will go back to our flight plan. Actually, what's an approach? Oh, there's nothing actually need to change in there. It automatically does that for us. So how are we going for our APU? Oh, we're getting there. There it is. So we'll get the APU bleed on. We'll get ground power can come off, and we'll turn it off here as well. Just double check everything's all good. Yep, so we can actually begin our pushback. So to do that, I'll just do that from here. And we'll be pushing back, tail will be to the right. Also better get rid of a parking brake as well. This is one thing that annoys me. So if I zoom in, you can see the nav light, right? If I zoom out, it disappears, turns off. So it's something that they had said they'd fix, but they clearly haven't fixed. I shouldn't complain. It's not bad for a free aircraft at all. Okay, so ignition needs to go into A, and we'll start engine number 2. So we're just waiting for it to get up to about 20% here on the N2. Just keep an eye on our pushback. It's got to manually turn that. Sits about there, so we'll turn on the fuel for engine 2. We'll actually start turning our tail to the right. As always, I feel like I've missed something, but we'll figure that out in the flight, I guess. Okay, we'll start going straight back now. And we'll stop her about there. Okay, so pushback is complete, parking brake can come back on. And his engine number 2 is settled, so we can now start engine number 1. Go fuel engine number 1. Now while it's starting up, we can actually bring up on here our flight controls, which is kind of cool. So flight control, and we'll do a quick test on that. Oh, I don't know why it's orange. Oh, because the engine hasn't started up. Okay, so we'll go full left, full right, full down, full up, and full rudder left, full rudder right, and check the brakes. And brakes seem to be working. Awesome. So wait for engine number 1 to settle, which looks like it is doing. That is perfect. Okay, so we need to turn on engine bleed for both, which is already on. We can turn off the APU bleed. We'll turn off the APU. The emergency exit lights should have actually already been armed before pushback. That's all right. Window heater needs to be on. And also the probe heats should be on also. And there's something up here I need to turn on, and I always forget it. Oh, there it is, the oxygen supply. That needs to be on also. So everything overhead is done. No, it's not. We need to turn ignition to off. Cool, so everything is all good. We'll turn on our taxi light, even though it's broad daylight. Strobes, we'll turn on to auto, but I'll activate those on takeoff. Nav lights are on 1. Let's flick it up to 2. Seatbelt's already on. No smoking is on. Okay, so down to here we need to just double checking everything is all good. Yep, everything is all good according to the sheet. So we also need to put our flaps out first. So 15 and 15 was our setting. So that is done. So that should be coming out now. Slowly but surely. Very slowly. Oh, that's it done. Okay, cool. And also, I need to, I know on the A320 you do this. We'll do this in this one anyway. We need to activate the, or arm the speed brake. Okay, so we are good to taxi out to runway 09 center. So if I take the parking brake off, it will start moving already. So just give it a little bit of juice to get us rolling. And essentially you can, you taxi this on idle. So we'll get that up. So go drop that to idle. Now I do need to make a turn in here. Probably actually should have been out. This is not a taxi line. That's okay. I will actually make a turn here. And then this turn here. So why don't you just give her a little bit more juice? Oh, where are we going? Oh, probably actually could have stayed on the other taxi line. That's okay. Because we're not going to go out onto runway 09 right. We want, is that 09 right? It is, yeah, we need 09 center. So we will make this turn here. Okay, I think I'm lost, so let's have a look at the map. Oh yeah, I am completely and utterly, we've gone completely and utterly the wrong way. We actually want to be back here. That's okay. What I'll do is I will speed this one up, so you don't have to watch me backtrack to find the actual runway I need to be on. Okay, we are pretty much back where we should be. Let's get some speed down. We're going a little bit too quick to make that turn. Okay, we're just going to hold here and we'll get our takeoff set up and ready to go. Okay, so I do need to put our transponder on just down here somewhere. I can never find it. It is right there. So we're on standby. We need it on TARA. We'll get our squawk once we're in the air from the AI ATC. Obviously, I'm not using VATSIM. Don't have that luxury on Xbox. We're doing our landing lights on. We'll put the takeoff lights on also. Oops. Strobes. We'll go from auto to on. Everything else is all fine. Seatbelts are all on. Flaps are out. I need our auto brake set to max, which will disengage after takeoff, and we'll go into my takeoff view. Parking brake disengage, and let's get out onto the runway. See if we can line it up nicely. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'll give the nose just a little bit of down pressure, and we'll get the engines up to just about 50%-ish, around about 50%. Now this thing does wobble all over the runway, just a little bit. Okay, engine settled at 52 or so %, and we're going to hit the toga button. So V1 135, whoops, VR 136. So it's a bit of a slow beast to take off. As you can see, it's really hard to keep center. My Turtlebeach rudder controls are a bit sensitive. So passing 100 will release the nose. Come on, stay center, you bitch. There's V1, and we'll rotate. Oh, we're going to go off to the left. Okay. I'll just turn it a little bit. Okay, positive rate. Gear is coming up. We'll just try and follow the flight director, which is all over the place, just a tad. Come on, get over. There we go. Yes, I hear you. Speed's just a little bit low. Okay, and we'll go into autopilot. That was not the best takeoff, but it wasn't exactly a SID to follow for that one. It was a direct out. Okay, so we can lock the gear. We'll turn the nose light off, and we'll go. We'll just go slats. Get rid of the flaps. Now the sound, to me, the sound profile of this aircraft is shit. It used to be so much better when it first came out, but it sounds a bit dull. Like it doesn't seem to be loud enough. But like I said before, it's a free add-on, so I'm not going to complain too much. Okay, we can lose that last that slat as well, so we'll go outside view for that one. You see the slat is out, and we'll lose that, which we will drop just a little bit. Slowly winds in. There we go. So clean wing, and we'll get our nav display out to 240. Passing 5,000 feet. Bit of a slow climber as well. Now, I'm not sure if I have to do this, but I'm going to do it like I do in the Boeing. Keep our heading aligned with the manual heading aligned with our actual heading. Now, transition altitude in the USA is 18,000 feet or flight level 180. So we've got plenty of time before we have to change that QNH back to standard. I'm going to put this on to cabin pressure, keep an eye on that. Not that I need to do anything for that anyway. Now, if you've never seen inside this flight deck before, you'll notice a few differences with the displays. So there's no ascent or descent information on the side here. It is actually this dial here. So we're climbing at around 3,000 feet per minute, which is pretty good for this aircraft. So altitude is also this dial here. We don't have that on the side. We only have speed and our artificial horizon. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. There's 10,000 feet, so the landing lights can come off. And seatbelts will come off fairly soon as well, another 2,000 or 3,000 feet. Seatbelts will come off, but I will come back to you once we have come up to transition altitudes, and then finally once we are in our climb. Okay, just past flight level 180, so we can put that into standard. So 2992, everything else seems to be all good. Seatbelts are off, so passengers are free to move about the cabin. I'm just going to double check, I haven't missed anything up here at all. It all seems to be all good. As with any Airbus, it's a lights off overhead. So anything that is off means that it is on, if that makes sense, but it means that there's no systems that are not running. Everything else is all fine. Cabin pressure, we'll look at the temperature. Actually, I don't think it does. I think I have to. Do I have to change that here? I actually don't know. Maybe we can look at that in the overhead. Oh, temperatures are up here. Maybe. It all seems to be. Oh, is it there? No, I don't know. I have no idea. But we haven't got any alarms. It all seems to be running fine. There's no complaints coming from the cabin. So I will see you guys once we have reached our cruise altitude. Until then, just enjoy some outdoor views as we cruise along. We're just coming up to our cruise altitude now with flight level 350. So the aircraft is settling now, and everything seems to be going pretty smoothly, which is good. One thing I do want to show you though is our winds have changed just a little bit already coming into Boston, so there will be a slight deviation. We won't be arriving on runway 04 right. I am actually going to change it to runway 15 right because it will give us a direct headwind. So we'll change that before we start our descent. I've got to work out new stars to get in. Also do have to program our approach wind speeds and directions as well. So we'll do that just before we start making our approach, which will be just after 160 nautical miles away. Currently we do have another, if I go program on here, where are you? You're right down here. We do have another 675 nautical miles to our destination and closing. So still quite a bit of time until we do reach the upper east coast of the USA, and so plenty of time to figure out which arrival path we will be taking, but it's pretty straightforward. Plenty of choices to choose from in Boston. They've got runways going in all sorts of directions, pretty similar to JFK, so that makes it nice and easy. But until then, I will see you guys just before we hit top of descent and start making our way down into the Boston region. Right, so we are coming up to our top of descent fairly soon. As you can see, we're getting close to that 160 mile mark from Boston. There's a bit of a weird turning situation happening here, but this, we're not going to use the original designated runway, which was 04 right. We're actually going to come in on 22 left, and I'll show you exactly why. So as you can see, the wind has changed dramatically since we first checked it on first departure. Originally, following departure, I was going to change it to runway 15 right, but the wind has shifted again. It's 11 knots, so I'm not going to go for a crosswind landing onto 15 right. We're actually going to come in on 22 left. So I do need to work out the stars for that one, and I'm not the greatest at knowing the navigation stuff and things. So I will try and work through that on here. Okay, no, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. Let's put that back to our map. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, because I'm zoomed right out. We definitely need to start our descent. So we'll head down to, we should be on profile. We'll head down to flight level 240. I'm going to do that at minus 15 feet per minute, 1500 feet per minute for now. We should be on nav. There we go. Yep. Okay, no, I think we've got that under control. I'll keep the anti-ice on for now. But once we have realigned and got back on track, I'll come back to you with an update on everything before we come into our approach. Okay, we've reached flight level 240 or thereabouts, which is coming down to it. So I am going to adjust that down to 170. And we'll do that at 1200 feet per, no, 1500 feet per minute for now. I have also adjusted speed to 250 knots, just to get our speed down in preparation for landing. The other thing I need to do, which I haven't done, is because we did have a change of runway. So if I go back to our chart, so this is the chart for the ILS chart for 22 left. Our CRS is 215, so let's change that into here. It's still 110.30 for our the frequency. Oops, change that to 215. Excellent. Also, while I'm here, if I scroll down, sorry, you didn't see that on screen. I had the chart in the way. Our minimums, so decision height will be 216 feet. So let's put that into here as well. It should be 210. 215, sorry. So put that into there, but we are pretty much all good to continue our approach and make our way down to final. Just coming down to flight level 180, so that is transition altitude. So I'm going to adjust the QNH now, so it should be 29082. So we'll get that in. Awesome. Keep the speed at 250 knots, but I'm going to drop us down, so altitude will be 10,000. We'll keep that coming down. Actually, I might reduce that to 1,200 feet per minute. Just keep that speed down at 250. What is our temperature? Temperature is 8 degrees. Keep the anti-ice on for another couple of degrees. It needs to be 10 degrees and above. So it won't be long before we can turn that off. We're not actually flying in much cloud, but just looking around, it looks like it could be fairly moist out there. And so we'll just keep that on for a little bit longer. Haven't had any warnings. So once we hit 10,000, we'll then decide what we're going to come down to. I think if I look at the chart again, looks like our capture altitude is 4,000 feet. And because we're doing a direct, it's a straight in approach, so that actually worked out quite nicely, not using the stars to come in. But we are pretty much all set for a successful landing. So it's an 11 knot headwind pretty much coming in. So it's favourable conditions. Maybe 11 knots could be lower, but favourable being head on. And we are above 10 degrees, so I'm going to turn that anti-ice off now. Anyway, I'll come back to you once we have got down to around flight level 10,000. Slowly making our way down to 10,000 feet. I'm going to reduce the speed down to 220 in preparations for start to put the slats and flaps out. And seatbelt sign's also going to come on for that one as well. So try to work out if we're a little bit too high. Maybe we're not. So actually what I should do, look at our program and our distance away, 28 nautical miles. So yeah, we probably could be a little bit lower, but we'll see how we go. I'm pretty sure we can get this down. The speed's not coming down a bit, so I might actually put out some speed brake. Just a little bit, just to get our speed down, just a tad. Cool, that is now rolling down. Just double check the weather, because this is 62 minutes out of date. It still is 2982, which we have got programmed in. Excellent. I feel like I'm forgetting something as always, but we'll see how we go for the landing. So that's more or less 10,000. We'll put that on. We're going to drop that down to 4,000. We're going to do this at 1,500 feet per minute. Continuing, because we are just a little bit too high. I need to drop 6,000 feet in about less than 10 miles. It's not good. We can still make this. I might have to do some corrections, but when I come back, we should be coming in onto final. So definitely have messed up just a little bit. So we are going to just shoot past our turning point where we should be at 4,000 feet here. We're just a little bit too high at 6,000. So I'm going to just shoot past it a little bit. I will turn us 90 degrees to the left, and then we'll realign once we're down to 4,000 feet, so we can begin our final approach. So just get us around just a little bit more. I'm going to reduce our speed down to 205. We will get our first lot of slats out once we have come down to that speed. So green, actually not 205, 20, looks like 208 is our green dot. I see the ILS diamonds are coming in, so that means we are getting down to our desired altitude, which is perfect. Cool, so we should now have Boston directly behind us. Just keep going forward just a little bit on this heading. And we will put our first notch flaps down. So it'll be flaps 1, I think. Okay, so if I just get our heading to go around, so if I just turn us a little bit, down to 350. Now if I hit nav, it should keep us going to the left, I think. Yep, it will, and we will get back on track as we come down to 4,000. Reduce that to 800 feet per minute. We shouldn't need the speed brake anymore, so I'm just going to arm that for landing. Excellent, that's just going to bring us around nicely. Speed we need to go down to 180. Oops. Beautiful. It's working out for the best. Okay, we are a little too low. I'm not displeased with that at all. I'm happy to be a little bit too low than a little bit too high. We'll just keep her coming in. So once we get below 20 miles away, we will start to put out some more of the flaps and get her prepped for landing. So in the meantime, I'll just stop the recording here, and we'll just fly along at 4,000 for a little bit until we are ready to get on to the final. Okay, so our diamond has just dropped below the horizon, so I think I need to reduce our altitude down to 3,000. We'll do that at 1,200 feet per minute. Just get that realigned. We'll also put out another notch of flaps and get our speed down to 170. Also going to turn on the ILS system now, because we just want to realign that. Heading should be 215 from memory, 215, which it is. Oops, I do need to reduce. Okay, runway is ahead. So I did tell you from the start that it has been a while since I have flown this. So we're going to hit the land button now, and it should just get us all lined up for the correct runway. We're pretty much capturing glide slope now, so let's get the gear down. Beautiful. And we're not really descending. So I might just take her down to 1400. This is not working out at all. We're going to go another set of flaps. Down to 150. Bit of a steep approach, simply because we haven't captured the glide slope as I expected. Let's see if we can make up for it. Okay, it's not actually going to, is it? It's take manual control. We'll do a complete manual landing. We'll forget about the ILS. I'm not the best at manually landing this this aircraft, but we'll see how we go. Does like to move around just a little bit. Probably shouldn't be descending at 2,000 feet per minute coming into the runway, but that's okay. Okay, if I put that back on, what happens? No, it takes us back up. We don't want that. We're going to get flaps full. And our landing speed should be about 135. I'll go 138 knots. Auto brake also should actually be on. We'll put it on mid. Still a little bit too high. Come on, get down, get down. Giving the passengers quite a ride. Yes, I understand. Sync rate confirmed. It's okay. We'll correct this. Okay, there we go. Now we're on proper glide. Clear it just a little bit. There we go. Touchdown. A little bit rough. And in true AB Neo style, not on centre line. Okay, stow reverses. To say I'm not unhappy with that. And we'll exit the runway here. So all things considering, it wasn't too bad of a landing. Let's not taxi in above 20 knots. Okay, let's just stop at this holding point here. We'll sort some things out. Tidy things up a bit. I'll go up to the next thing. So landing lights can come off. We better get the brake fans on. Taxi lights will set. Strobe light can come off. Seatbelt signs can remain on. No longer need that. We can turn off constraints. Okay, we're all good to taxi in. I'm not going to stop, by the way. Just keep her going. I'm just going to take a park somewhere. They actually turn right to the heavy gates. I think they are in the next terminal around. I didn't set my go-around altitude either because was a bit of a rushed landing. Where are we going? Just take that next gate here. Take this one here. It's probably not a heavy gate, but that's okay. Better line her up a little bit better. That will do. Parking brake on. I didn't turn on the APU. Actually, you know what? We'll forget the APU. We'll just get the ground power straight on. And we'll go straight into shutdown. So we should have the taxi light off. Beacon can come off, and let's get our jetway connected. Awesome. So welcome to Boston Logan International. We get the seatbelt signs off, and we probably should turn off some fuel pumps considering passengers will be disembarking fairly soon, if not now. Excellent. So a bit of a rough approach. Wasn't too unhappy with the landing considering I haven't had a lot of practice in this aircraft. I do like flying it. And but here we are in Boston. Whoa, that noise. We need to turn off our... That's better. Excellent. So this is Boston. I forget the studio name. I will probably put a banner up down there somewhere, so you know who the studio is who made this paid add-on. But you can find it in the marketplace. It's the only one available for the Xbox. It's pretty good. I quite like Boston. It's my favourite region to fly, which is like I usually fly to JFK or Boston when I'm doing East Coast USA flights. Of course, you can see the city over in the distance there as well. But thank you very much for watching along. I hope you did enjoy it and do enjoy my sort of casual approach to flying in the sim. As you can tell, I'm not a pilot whatsoever, and I'd never ever pretend to be one. But sort of just want to show you that you can indeed fly pretty realistically in the Xbox. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed already. Like the video if you want. Again, if you don't want to like it, I'm not going to press you into doing anything you don't want. And I will see you again in the skies very soon.